Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in front of us is the 2023 BMW X3 sDrive30i. This model is finished off in Brooklyn Gray Metallic with the cognac leather for the interior. Now we'll also go over the MSRP once we go over all of the specs and features and get this smaller size SUV out on the road. So let's start off with what powers the sDrive. This has a 2-liter twin power turbo 4-cylinder engine paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Pumps out 248 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the rear wheels for the sDrive model, propelling this 4,000-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in 6 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. Now, as far as fuel economy goes, you're looking right around 23 miles per gallon in the city, 29 out on the highway. And with this particular X3, this has the M Sport package. So it gives it all of the black accents for up front. We have the kidney grille finished off in gloss black. We even have a forward-facing camera and the active grille shutters to provide more cooling to that engine when needed. Now this has a set of LED headlights, DRLs, and the turn signals with a sleek dark housing to them to match the rest of this front end. Plenty of cutouts in the lower section too, with all the parking sensors, and you can even see the air inlets in the far corners to help direct airflow through that bumper. So it gives it a very nice and more sporty design, in my opinion. You have to get the M Sport package just to give it a little bit more of an aggressive look. And then for the hood, very nice lines going down to that grille, so it meets it very nicely. Now for the M Sport package, this gets the upgraded 20-inch wheels with the two-tone design to them, has a very nice look with this Brooklyn gray. And then there's the trim piece just behind that, so the airflow can go through around the tire and exit that piece and go down the rest of the side. Now this also has the body colored side mirrors with the integrated turn signal, the camera system, full panoramic sunroof, and then for the M Sport package, it provides it with the gloss black roof rails, gloss black for the window trim to tie it in very nicely. And I love the lines that run down the side, give it a very nice look. Now for the rear, this has the body colored spoiler, integrated third brake light with the gloss black trim just to hide that a little bit more. The wiper blade is in the lower section. This gets LED taillights, power liftgate, backup camera, all the parking sensors, even more gloss black in that lower diffuser, and the dual exhaust. Now with the right package, the X3 can tow up to 4,400 pounds, which is very impressive for the size of this SUV. Now for the rear cargo, I'm just going to use the button up underneath. You can use the button on the key fob, of course. And for the smaller size that this is, there is a lot of space with the back seats up. I'm very impressed with how functional this would be as a daily driver. On this driver's side, there's a storage net. Passenger side, there's a hook along with a USB or a 12 volt. And then underneath the floor, you have a little bit of storage. You can hide or store away that cover when you're not using it. There's a little bit more storage on that driver's side. And then you can fold these seats down. I wish there was a handle in the back where you could do it from here, but they are foldable. So you can just grab on these here, put them down. Gives you a lot more interior space. And then with the power liftgate, of course, you can just push on the button for it to close the rest of the way. Now what I love about the X3 is you can lock and unlock it using the door handles in the back. So that makes it very convenient. If you have kids or you're entering the back first, you don't have to worry about grabbing your key. Now you can see the cognac leather on the armrest as well as the portion behind it. This model has the interior ambient lighting, really neat trim piece just underneath that, along with some more brushed aluminum, a little bit of storage space in the lower section of the door, and it even has the Harman Kardon sound system. Now for the back seats, of course, more of that color gives it a nice combo against this exterior color. And at 5'10", I'm honestly pretty comfortable in these back seats. I have plenty of room with this seat a little bit farther back than I would sit. There's also a storage net behind both of them, air vents. You even get all of your climate adjustments, so your temperature, where you'd like the air to go. A little bit of storage along with 2 USB-Cs. And these back seats even recline too. So just by pulling on this lever, hopefully you saw from the other angle, or from this angle here now, we have this one up and this seat back. So it gives you a little bit more headroom in the back. And this even has the armrest along with the cup holders when you need to use those. And you can even fold down the middle seat. So if you need a little bit more access, you have the ability to do that. And with the full moonroof open, it gives you a lot of lighting for the interior. So it's a small SUV, but it gives you a lot of room for what you need. Now for the door panel up front, we have all the window controls, side mirror adjustments, which are power folding. You can also release that lift gate, a lot more storage, memory seats, more of that lighting, and then the Harman Kardon sound system in the A-pillar. The M badge is also down on the door sill, and then we have a nice design for these front seats, which are automatic. They're heated too. And then the only manual adjustment is for this leg portion here. So you can pull that out if you need a little bit more comfort. And it is a very low SUV. So it's very easy to enter and exit. Now with the M Sport package, this gets the M Sport steering wheel, finished off in leather, of course. We have a heated steering wheel too, brushed aluminum accents, all the cruise control settings, volume and tuning for the radio, even Bluetooth and the voice commands. And then we have the paddle shifters finished off in more of that brushed aluminum. Let's fire up this X3 though. With my foot on the brake, we can bring this to life. And then for this digital gauge cluster, on the left side, you'll see the fuel level, miles per hour. Right side is the tach as well as the engine temperature. And the navigation for the map, always stays right in the middle. I think that's a really nice touch to see. And then you can also look at more info within that tach using this button on the top of the turn signal stock. So currently it's showing the odometer as well as some data information. You can even look up live readouts for your horsepower and your torque. You can pull up the G-force meter, even monitor the music. You can even pull up what gear the vehicle's in along with the driving mode. So currently it is in comfort. And then there's a live readout for your MPG. So if you need to monitor that, you can. Now on the left side, all the headlight adjustments, parking lights, dimmer switches for the gauges, a little bit of storage so you could place some items there if you need to. And this has the head-up display, so it's showing miles per hour and the speed limit sign. And right in the middle, for the home screen, you can see navigation along with the media and phone. You can swipe over, look at some more data info, even look at the compass. And then there's a few areas here where you can add some widgets, just depending on what you use the most. Now on this left side, all of these are fixed, so they are quick access points to get into all this info, including car, where you have a lot more info to go through. I'm gonna use this rotary dial now. You'll notice too, there are more shortcuts just in front of that. If we go into the driving info and the sport displays, if you're driving this a little bit more sporty, you can monitor all of these vitals, which is really neat to see. There's also the vehicle status, so you can look at all of these. And then under settings, you have a lot more info to go through. Look at the driver assistance, configure the interior ambient lighting, so you can change all of these colors. We have the climate controls, even the key fob settings. And then there's the driver profiles, owner's manual. This even gets Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and some other icons and apps there, just depending on what you'd like to use. Now you'll see more of that trim just underneath, along with some brushed aluminum and a smaller LCD screen for the climate adjustment. So there's the fan speed, temperature controls, a few other recircs, even the heated seat controls. And this even has a shortcut to the intelligent safety. So you can pull up all of the standard safety features for this X3 and monitor those as needed. Now underneath that, there's power and volume for the radio, all of the presets and tuning. And then for the storage bin right in the middle, you'll see X3 above that. And then we can open this up where there's the wireless charging pad, a USB, a little bit of storage. You can place some coins or the key fob there if needed. There's a 12 volt and 2 cup holders, and you can easily close that up. Now looking at the shifter, if I put this into reverse, you'll see the backup camera up here, where this model also has the 360 camera system. So that gives you pretty much no blind spots around this entire vehicle. So depending on the driving situations that you're doing, this only pops up at slow speeds, of course. You pretty much have no blind spots. You even have another top-down view if you need to use that. Now this model also has the parallel parking and the backup assistance, so that is of course helpful. And then to pull up the forward-facing camera, I'll simply just push on that button and you can see that in full screen. So no shortage of visibility issues for this model. Now I can put this into drive, pop it over into the manual setting, so you can shift using the shifter or the paddle shifters themselves, and then park is located on the back. Now also on this left side, there's traction control as well as the parking sensors, engine start stop feature, and the different driving modes. So this has sport mode with a few different settings. There's also comfort, and then eco has a few different settings as well, just depending on how you'd like to drive for the day. Now behind that, there's the auto hold and the electronic parking brake, and then a little bit of storage space in the center armrest, so that gives you a good amount of room. And then the glove box, of course, has additional room for all of that information. So we'll take another look at this interior with the moonroof currently open, as well as visibility. It is very open for this smaller size SUV. Definitely very roomy. There's also the dome lights up in the top there. But now let's go ahead and get this out on the road. With it still in sport mode, we'll do another mild acceleration. I'm very impressed. Hopefully you can either hear or see on the gauge cluster, the moment that I tap on the paddle, it goes into that next gear. So it's not really a performance-oriented model from BMW, but I love the fact that they can incorporate some of the performance characteristics. We have the smaller engine, we have the standard suspension for the M Sport, which is surprising to see. That is a part of the M Sport package to have the standard suspension. But I do love how quick these paddles are. It makes it a little bit more fun to drive for being the, I don't want to say base entry, but it's the smaller engine. It's kind of more of the entry level for the X3, especially having the 4-cylinder engine. But it's pretty peppy, and again, under 60 grand. I'm excited personally to have this. This is pretty much the spec I would go with, possibly red leather for the interior, but the Brooklyn gray for the exterior. I do wish though, however, it did have adaptive cruise. It has the forward camera, which is kind of a part of that in a sense, but it's missing the sensor, and I don't know if you can get that on the X3 in general, so maybe that's just not available for this car. But aside from that, I really do like everything else about this vehicle, and obviously I don't own one yet, so I'm not biased towards it, but it is a good size vehicle. And the fact that it can tow a little bit, you probably have to go up to the M50i to get the larger inline 6 in order to tow up to that 4,400 pounds. But you can still tow a little bit with this if you need a vehicle like that. But yeah, sub 60 grand. What do you guys think of the X3? Very, very nice for this luxury style, smaller size SUV. But I think that is going to wrap it up for this 2023 BMW X3. Once again, a huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Check out their website. Also give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.